inverse Z transform by the method of partial fraction. In the previous lecture, we have covered about how to find inverse Z transform by convolution method. So today we are seeing the second method, which is the partial fraction method of the inverse Z transform. So now see how to find by using partial fraction the inverse Z transform. For this, we are taking an example. Suppose we want to find the inverse Z transform of the function 2z square plus 3z upon z plus 2 into z minus 4. So we know this is f of z. This is function of z. We write let f of z equals to 2z square plus 3z upon z plus 2 into z minus 4. This is our f of z. F of z means for which we are finding inverse Z transform. Now, this we can write, if we are taking Z common, we can write this Z 2z plus 3 upon Z plus 2 into Z minus 4. And if we are rewriting it, we can write Fz upon Z equals to 2z plus 3 upon z plus 2 into z minus 4, means we are rewriting this equation, which is the function of z, and now we are supposing this is equation number 1. Since we are using here the method of the partial fraction, so what we will do, we will just split this into two factor. So equation number 1, which is 2z plus 3 upon z plus 2 into z minus 4, can be written as a upon z plus 2 plus b upon z minus 4. So we are supposing that this is equation number 2. Solving this equation number 2 for a and b, because this is the partial fraction of the required equation and this is equals to fz upon z. So we can just simplify it by taking LCM az minus 4 plus bz plus 2 upon z plus 2 into z minus 4. So the LCM, after taking LCM, this is cancelling here, this z plus 2 is cancelling and this is also cancelling. So we have now equation number 3, which is 2z plus 3 equals to az minus 4 plus bz plus 2. Now from this equation we can find out the value of a and b. For this, first of all, in this equation number 3, put z equals to 4 and then z equals to minus 2. If we are putting z equals to 4, we'll get the value of b. If we are putting value z equals to minus 2, we'll get the value of a. So from here, this equation z equals to 4 giving b equals to 11 by 16. If we put here, we'll get the same value, this. Similarly, z equals to minus 2, if we are putting here, this is giving 1 by 6. So a is 1 by 6. Now, putting these a and b again in the equation number 2, because this is the partial fraction of this given equation. So the given equation we have written as a fz upon z, which is equals to 1 upon 6 z plus 2 now plus 11 by 6 z minus 4, as the value of a is 1 by 6 and the value of b is 11 by 6. So now fz is what? Fz is, if we are multiplying this z again here, so we have 1 upon 6 z upon z plus 2 plus 11 by 6 z upon z minus 4. So this is the partial fraction now of the required question, of the required equation, which was the function of z. Now, since we know from the z transform, z f of n equals to f of z. This is the formula we know, because if we have the function of z, so always after z transform we get the function of n. So z is a function of n. This equals to f of z, or instead of fz we can just rewrite z fn. This is equals to 1 by 6 z upon z plus 2 plus 11 by 6 z upon z minus 4. Now in the inverse z transform, always we get the function of n in the answer. So just write f of n here and taking z inverse on both sides. So z inverse into z is eliminating, and here we'll get z inverse, here also we'll get z inverse. Now we have the formula of z inverse z upon z minus a, which is a to the power n. So we can write this 1 by 6 minus to the power n. Here we can write 11 by 6, 4 to the power n. So this is our required answer of the problem. This is the z inverse transform of the function given in the question, which was 2z square plus 3z upon z plus 2z minus 4 by partial fraction. So if we know the partial fraction, so this method is very easy. From this method we can find inverse z transform very easily, but for this we should know how to fractionize, how we find the partial fraction, or how we find the factors of the given equation. Now just we can see other example number 2. In this again the same, we are finding z inverse of the function tan z upon z square minus 3z plus 2. So in this question this is the function of z. We can write f of z equals to tan z upon z square minus 3z plus 2. Now taking again the same in the previous question, we can write fz upon z, this is equals to tan upon z square minus 3z plus 2. Now in this we don't have factors, but we can factorize the same. So we can write this tan upon z minus 1 into z minus 2. You can find these factor by splitting the middle of term or by using the quadratic equation formula, that is Sridhar Acharya formula. So you can split these factor. Now this is equation number 1. So we can write this equation number 1, fz upon z equals to tan upon z minus 1 into z minus 2. And in the partial fraction we can write the same, a upon z minus 1 plus b upon z minus 2. So this is our equation number 2. Now the same, our aim is to find the value of a and b. So for this we'll take again the LCM of this, a upon z minus 1 plus b upon z minus 2. This is equals to a times of z minus 2 plus b times of z minus 1 upon z minus 1 into z minus 2. So this equation number 2 is now becoming tan upon z minus 1 into z minus 2 equals to a times of z minus 2 plus b times of z minus 1 upon z minus 1 into z minus 2. So this is cancelling here. Again you have equation tan equals to a z minus 2 plus b z minus 1. The same process as in the previous example, find the value of a and b here. So now we have the value of a, we have the value of b. Putting these value a and b in the equation number 2, so we have the partial fraction now, minus tan upon z minus 1 plus tan upon z minus 2. So we have fz equals to minus tan z upon z minus 1 plus z into tan upon z minus 2. So we can just use the same concept as previous, write this as a zf upon f of n. This is equals to minus 10 times z upon z minus 1 plus 10 times z upon z minus 2, taking z inverse on both sides and using the same formula like the previous question, z inverse of z upon z minus a, which is a to the power n, we know it. So using the same formula we have this answer. The answer in the terms of the function n, which we have minus tan 1 to the power n plus 10 into 2 to the power n. So the same method we are using as a partial fraction in the question number 3. Let's see. The question is z inverse z into z square minus z plus 2 upon z plus 1 z minus 1 square. So what is the difference between this question and the previous two question? In the previous two question, the factors was non-repeating factor, but here the factor is repeating. So we have to use another case of the partial fraction when the factors are repeating. So again the same way, again the same step will follow. Just write the function f of z is this much. The question is a function of z. Just taking z in the denominator, and this is the required equation now. So write this as a partial fraction a upon z plus 1 plus b upon z minus 1 plus c upon z minus 1 the square, because this is the repeating case. So for the repeating case always we use this technique of the partial fraction. Now the same process will follow here, just taking the LCM. So this is the LCM now. So after taking LCM, the equation is becoming, final equation is becoming this one, this is the final equation now. So from this equation only we will find the value of a, b, c, because we have in this question three constant a, b, c. So in the first, if we are putting the first, we can put z equals to 1, then z equals to minus 1, but we have three constant, and to find the three constant we can just put z1, z minus 1, but for the other third constant we can put z equals to 0. We can put in any question z equals to 0 to get an equation, and since we have already two values, so by putting these two values we can find the other third. So the same process we are following in this question. To put z equals to 1, so z equals to 1, if we are putting, we have the value of c 1. If we are putting z equals to minus 1 in this, we have the value of a. So now we have the value of a and c. So if we are just comparing the coefficient of higher power of z square, or if we are putting z equals to 0 here, we'll get 2 equals to a plus b plus a minus b. This is minus b because z is 0 now, so minus b plus c equals to 2. Putting the value of a and c here, so we have b equals to 0. So finally in the equation number 2 now, put a, b, c. So we have this equation. Again write the question fz equals to z upon z plus 1 plus z upon z minus 1 the square. So we can write z f of n, this we can write z f of n, because we know this equals to f of z. So this writing, this equals to the same function, finding fn. For finding fn, taking the z inverse on both sides. So the formula of is minus 10 to the power n, and since we know z inverse of z upon z minus 1 the square, this is equals to n. This is the formula. So we are using the same formula here in the question, in this step. So we have answer minus 1 to the power n plus n. This is our answer of the problem. Now we are discussing the last question of this lecture, example number 4. Suppose we want to find z inverse of this function z square upon z plus 2 into z square plus 4 by the method of the partial fraction, again the same method. So using the same step, let this is fz, and which is equivalent to z square upon z plus 2 into z square plus 4. Just take one z in the denominator, so this can be written fz upon z equals to z upon z plus 2 into z square plus 4. Now again using the partial fraction. So this is another case of the partial fraction in which one factor is non-repeating and the other factor is a quadratic equation. So if any factor is a quadratic equation, so we always write this in this way. So please remember this pattern ki how to write the partial fraction if there is any quadratic equation like this. So we can write this a upon z plus 2 plus bz plus c upon z square plus 4, and simplifying in the same way like previous question for a, b, c. So if we are taking LCM, we'll get this equation. After just cancelling this denominator terms, we'll get this final equation now. Again the same process, will solve this for a, b, c, putting z equals to minus 2 first, and since we don't have another factor, we can put z equals to 0. So z equals to minus 2 is giving the value of a, z equals to 0 is giving the value of c. Now we have to find other b by collecting the coefficient. So if we are collecting the higher power of z coefficient, we will get 0 equals to a plus b. Putting the value of a here, so we have the value of b, which is 1 by 4. So in this way, now in the equation number 2, we are putting all the constant a, b and c. So we have desired equation fz equals to minus 1 by 4 into, if we are just putting z in the numerator again, so this fz is equivalent now minus 1 by 4 z upon z plus 2 plus 1 by 4. This is now becoming z square upon z square plus 4 plus half times z upon z square plus 4. So f of z can be written z f of n. So we can write this equals to minus 1 by 4 z upon z plus 2 plus 1 by 4 z square upon z square plus 4 plus 1 by 2 z upon z square plus 4. Now Fn is here and we are taking Z inverse in all, because we are taking Z inverse on both sides. So this Z inverse and Z is cancelling. So we have Z inverse on the right hand side only. To find the Z inverse of the individual term like this, this and this. So using the formula, this minus 1 by 4 is common, and the formula for this is the Z inverse transform is minus to the power n. And this is the direct formula of the Z inverse transform, a to the power n cos n pi by 2. So the Z square plus a square means a is 2. So we will write to the power n cos n pi by 2. This is the direct formula of the Z inverse transform if the function is Z square upon Z square plus a square. Similarly, if the function is Z upon Z square plus a square, so the formula is in terms of the sign. So here we are using the sine formula and here we are using the cos formula. So this is giving this total. If we are writing this 1 by 2 as a 2 by 2, means we are multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2, giving 2 upon 4. So in the denominator we are getting in all terms 1 by 4, 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. And the answer here will be this is sine n pi by 2 into 2 to the power n, because this we are taking common and using the formula of the Z inverse transform. For this case, we have this answer of the question. So in this way, by using the partial fraction, we can find very easily Z inverse transform. So this technique as compared to the convolution method is very easy, but for this always our partial fraction should be clear. All the cases of the partial fraction should be clear. So if we know the partial fraction, we can use this method by using Z inverse transform formulae very well. So there are some question for the practice. We can solve this question and the answer is also written here. The answer of this one problem, the answer of the second problem, answer the third problem. This is of the 4, this is the 5 and this is the 6. So you can try yourself this problem of the Z inverse transform by using partial fraction. So thank you everyone for watching.